Hi everyone, it's me, Kathleen McDonald. You can call me Dolly. I am back from Barnes & Noble, and I actually brought a few things home. I have in my possession now a reference that I think is fantastic. It's everything you need to ace science in one big fat notebook. This author does not credit himself, or if there's many, I don't know. Notes borrowed from the smartest kid in class, double-checked by an award-winning teacher. So, how great is that? Later, he goes on to say, borrowed from the smartest kid in class, double-checked by Michael Greisen. So maybe he's your guy? I don't know, but what a great book. This book has a really detailed index, and it's a crash course of everything you're going to learn in middle school science, and perhaps if you take more remedial classes in high school. The chapters are color-coded. I find it very user-friendly. I like their chapter on forces in motion, chapter 10, force in motion. It's fun, it's illustrated, it's easy to find your way around, it's easy to find your answers because of the index. I would use this as a tool for our vocabulary graphic organizer. I would, for example, ask students to go into the index and find words that they could break down by their prefix, suffix, and their root, and put those into their notebook. I had an idea for a notebook that's in 3 parts with the prefix, the root, and the suffix, and I think that's a really valuable way to teach vocabulary. And then you can go and look up the definition. Add that to the journal. This is a great reference. I'm excited to have this for myself. It's a lot lighter than a textbook, and it has a lot of good review in there. Getting started with engineering. It's gotten to be very bright. This is Think Like an Engineer. Hey, content. Literacy, interesting. Camille McCue, PhD. This is a book that explains engineering concepts with beautiful, applicable projects. This is a great book to start authentic discussions about, it teaches you how to get the oil out of animals that have been caught in, birds that have been caught in oil slicks. It teaches you also how to build a bridge out of pasta and see how much weight you can put on it before it falls. It's just a really, really cool reference, and I plan to go through this with my son as soon as we get a little bit more time before we finish The Witches by Roald Dahl, which is a whole other video. Anyway, so there you go. Engineering is something we as science teachers need to teach, and a lot of us have never taken a course in engineering, except for what we're getting here from Dr. Hare. So I think I'm really excited to do this with my son. Lots of cool stuff, and lots of opportunity for the authentic discussions, because it does talk about controversial matters, such as the oil leaks. This is something that I didn't bring home. I thought I owned this book, but I guess I have it on Kindle only. The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. She draws a lot of analogies from physics concepts like dark matter. She talks about the sun being a star. It's a really beautiful story. The reason why I think that this book is important is to place into your culturally responsive, inclusive classroom. This should be in your library. This is about a young woman, a high school student from Jamaica who's being deported because her father got a DUI. And pretty much the day she leaves, she meets this Korean boy who comes from a very strict, Korean family, and they just spend the day together, and you're going to laugh and cry, and it'll become a part of you. And it's about physics as much as any other piece of fiction that you'll ever find. It's hard to find books about physics that aren't, it's hard to find books on physics that aren't like super complicated. So, yay! Of course, there's always this. This wasn't in the young adult section, but Stephen Hawking, A Briefer History of Time. This is actually briefer, more up to date, and more illustrated. something I like. I don't have a project for that. I didn't buy it at the bookstore during that trip, but I did get one other thing. General Relativity for Babies. This is by Chris Ferrie. This book just makes me laugh, but it's so good. I mean, it's so good. It explains general relativity from the very beginning. This is a ball. This ball has mass. More mass, less mass. This is a flat space. And then it goes on to talk about how mass warps space. Less mass, less warp. It's funny because it's for babies, but it explains the concept. It's a beautiful illustration of general relativity, which is a very, very complicated thing. I can see how this would be of value to somebody who is an English language learner. It is so simple and illustrated so well. Somebody worked hard on this. It's harder to write a short book, right? Or short story than a long one. No, I mean, it's harder to write. Yeah, it's harder to write a short story than a long one. Anyhow, this is beautifully illustrated. I love that we're introducing these complicated concepts to babies because we're raising the bar. And, you know, God bless this Chris Ferrie person. He's got some humor. He even talks about two black holes can spin around each other. They send ripples through space called gravitational waves. It's very simple. What I would do with this would be a first and last. I would read the whole book to the class. And then I would ask everybody to pick a favorite page. I mean, if I had one of these for everyone or a copy, pick a favorite page or a concept and share it with the group. Maybe not a first last. Maybe just a think, pair, share. Right? Because I don't think you could. Actually, you could talk about this stuff pretty in depth, but yeah, maybe a think, pair, share on this one. But I would use it in the classroom because of those students that don't understand language as well, the EEL students, learning disabled students. And this will give you a couple answers right on my test, and if we're having a test on general relativity. And this is going to give the kids some place and everything that we've been talking about. So, General Relativity for Babies by Chris Ferrie. This is my favorite thing that I came across at the library or at the Barnes & Noble yesterday afternoon. And anyway, I hope you guys have as much fun this weekend as I did finding this book. Have a great weekend and Halloween, and I'll see all you guys a week from Wednesday. Bye.